The outgoing French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu has said he will brief President Macron on the outcome of his discussions with party leaders on ways to form a new government. Let's show you the scene live in Paris. Grey skies over the Arc de Triomphe. We've been watching the live shot from Paris over the last few hours. Mr. Cornu, a couple of hours ago, gave a statement talking about today's deadline set by President Macron to try to resolve this big political crisis that doesn't seem to end. Now, Sébastien Lecornu, we can remind you, announced his shock resignation on Monday, and that was just 26 days into his job, hours after he'd named his cabinet. And all of this, as you can imagine, an immense political headache for President Emmanuel Macron. Sébastien Lecornu is the third Prime Minister to reign since December last year. As France grapples with yet more instability, some parties are calling for fresh elections and for President Macron to go. Well, speaking in the last hour, the outgoing Prime Minister said there was a willingness to finalise a budget by the end of the year, adding that the possible dissolution of Parliament was becoming, in his words, more remote.
We really have to get out of this situation. This will to find a budget by the 31st of December by this year forces us to move forwards and to have some municipal elections that take place in the best circumstances. The Republican left, I've spoken to them to see what concessions they are willing to make so that we can get out of this situation. And before the end of this year, we really need to get our house in order.
Our Paris correspondent Hugh Schofield explained what Sébastien Lecornu was hoping to accomplish.
Well, what he was trying to do there was put a positive spin on what is happening, implying that an agreement is within reach. But as in all these situations, you can't take what he says at face value. I mean, he's trying to create an effect with what he says. He wants to reassure the markets internationally that things are stable, are stabilising. He wants to protect President Macron, who's under increasing attack, and he wants to just generally create a momentum towards a deal and therefore perhaps force parties who might otherwise be reluctant to finally come on board. But what's going to happen, we just don't know. He's seeing the socialists now, and I think that's the key meeting, because in all of this, there's a sense that things are shifting leftwards towards the socialist camp. They're in a position of relative power now. Macron and Lecornu